All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your best life defined. So let me get right to it. Why do you suppose you struggle to change things in your life? I mean, we all do it. We all have those ideas. I call it the list of I'm gonnas. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, all right, me too. Yeah, I've been talking about that. But when it actually comes down to affecting that thing, that thing that you're committed to changing, we don't do it. Well, there are two kinds of change. There's internal change and there's external change. And internal change is where the big work gets done. Internal change is where you look at yourself and you say, okay, man, I don't know why do I think that about that? Why do I think that particular thought about that? But it's scary to do that. It's scary to open yourself up to the view by the world of how we feel, because it's like, oh my God, what are they going to do with it? We don't want to feel vulnerable. But the reason we don't open ourselves up is because it's hard to look at the damage. It's hard to say, okay, I feel this way. I need to it's connected to that. That's why I walk around with a shield, because I couldn't trust people. My parents weren't there for me. My childhood was unstable. The reason we struggle to change is because we are afraid. Let's face it, if I were to make a suggestion, let's say here, let me throw a suggestion out here, and what I want you to do is I want you to think about the suggestion from the standpoint of how it makes you feel if actually it was a directive, if actually this is what you faced in a short period of time, this is what you had to do. Let's say that in a short amount of time you are required to give up everything you have and head to a warm place because you might have to spend the winter outside. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, that's just scary there, right? That'll put a knot in your stomach. When you're faced with that type of a choice, it's not your choice, right? But in order to avoid that, you have to learn to make choices that will avoid that. We don't want to change because we're in our rhythm. This is, all right, I'm floating. I'm in my big-ass ocean, not moving anywhere. Every day I go through the routine of my life, and then at the end of the day I drink beer or drink wine, and then I move on, and it continues in that format. But I don't think life was intended to be lived that way. I don't think life was intended to be lived in a stagnant state where you just achieve a certain level and then you just stop. Okay, stop the boat. We don't have to go any farther. We can hang out. We can get fat. We can have whatever we want go on, right? That's why we don't change. And the other reason we don't change is because you're already busy as hell. I guarantee that if you're like the average person, you are like covered up with shit you got to do. Shit you just have to do. You don't want to add another thing to it. I mean, granted, you can appreciate my intentions and the ideas I'm sharing and the fact that I put this effort out, but you ain't got time for more shit. You're already busier than hell, right? That's a bad side to fixing what's broken. The fixing what's broken actually requires more effort on top of what you're already doing. And what you're doing leaves you feel like you're almost dead, right? You're feeling like you're almost dead at the end of each day. You're like, ah. There are days you wake up and you think to yourself, even before your feet hit the floor, oh, I wish today was over. I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem like a very solid testament to living your best life. Sitting in traffic, so pissed off because you can't get one car closer to your destination. And yet we hold on to it. We hold on to where we are like it's our little fortress and no one should challenge it. I'm telling you, I used to get criticized for all the things I've done in my life because I've done a lot. I was a mortgage broker. I've been a concrete contractor, a general contractor. I've been a digital artist, a website designer, a database programmer. I mean, I just got a karate instructor. I mean, I just got this resume that goes and goes and goes. And there's a reason for that. I don't like being bored. I don't like sitting around going, okay, what now? All right, well, we'll do more of the same. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Let's do more of the same. This is where that true honesty comes in. This is where the true honesty comes in. We struggle to change. We struggle with change because it's different and it requires effort. That's the culmination of it. Change is about one thing. It's about action. It's about waking up today and saying, okay, this is where it is right now, and this is where I want it to be. So this is the steps I have to take to put it there. That's change. And if you're focused and you're connected to your life, then every change you make is usually a good one. You never like step off a cliff and go rob a bank or, any crazy shit. You just you wake up every day and you know, okay, I'm going to do this and this is the reason why. The problem is that part of the reason we don't affect change in life is because we're not looking for a reason to. We're not scanning the horizon, looking from left to right, looking for opportunities to be a better version of ourselves. We don't do that. We hunker down in our float tube in the middle of the ocean and we just let life bounce around. We're like tubes, like bumper tubes, just bouncing into each other, doing our thing. In between our four walls, the four walls we call our life. Here's the good news. The good news is that all you have to do to affect that, to grab something better for at least a moment, a week, whatever it is, you can actually be excited. You can be like, yeah, yeah. Sandy and I had a conversation today because we're changing some things up, and it's hard because we're changing up things so that our life gets better. We discovered there's a flaw in our system. And it's both our faults because we've never done this before. But what was happening is, I'm busy doing me. I am. I spent a lot of time involved in what I'm doing and focused on who I am and who I'm trying to become. And Sandy's doing the same thing. Well, one of the things she values is seeing sights. And she's mentioned this and mentioned this and mentioned this. Well, in order for us to satisfy what she wants and what I would welcome it, is to take on the responsibility of designating the calendar of events. That's simple. She wasn't getting to do or see as much of the things she wants to because she feels like it might inhibit what I'm doing. But the ticket here is it won't inhibit what I'm doing at all because my schedule is built around those events, but I'm not the one that's going to go look for them. And just like that, our life changed and she walked away smiling. I sat back down and I'm doing this podcast thinking to myself, yeah, it's okay to change. And in fact, change is the reward. Change puts fuel in your tank. When you're sitting there idling, you're not going anywhere. You're not revving your engine or running the RPM up to 9,000. You're sitting there. You're just like a boat. Just a boat, idling. Do you really want to live your life that way? Okay, you got the car, you got the house, you got the kids. How about working on that 20 pounds? Just for shits and grins, just to be moving in a direction, just to make sure that you're headed someplace you've never been. See, what's ironic about this whole thing of change, where like Sandy and I, we hit the road, we travel, we live on the road full time, right? But it doesn't have to be that drastic. Change in your life is about anything new that you're curious about, that kind of gets your interest and makes you want to spend time with it till you understand it, till you've overcome it. Pick it. If your life is not going someplace, if you can't look at your future and forecast that in 5 years you're going to be earning more money than you are now, or you're going to be in some form of better financial position. Now, a lot of people say that shit. I hear that at every party. Every time we get together with people, especially people who are in their 30s, who are acquiring debt, everyone's conversation is the same. Everybody, well, we're working on getting out of debt. Well, what are you doing to do that? What exactly are the steps for that? Kind of puts them on their heels. Because we make these declarations and they're weightless. Because we don't want to face the struggle. The struggle of saying, each and every day I will wake up and the one thing I will avoid like a plague is to reach in my pocket and spend money. If I want to affect change, in my life, I have to find a way to do that. And it's about action. Yeah. And it's scary as hell. So I don't know. I'm thinking about these things and I just keep waking up and I think, okay, what can I share with you? Because, I think maybe there's the chance you don't realize that if you show up or you don't, I'm showing up. If you decide, you know what, he sucks, I don't like listening to him, that's fine, I'm done with that dude, okay, I'll still be here. Because I don't know if you understand it or not, and you may not see it because you're not in this, but what I've learned is that if you progress at something, if you continue to just do something, after a while, it just becomes second nature to you. After a while, you don't have any issue talking to a camera. You don't have any issue connecting on the topic with the people that are listening. And I truly don't. I've kind of found my voice, and it's okay. And what's cool about it is that's the most wonderful kind of change. It's the most wonderful kind of change when I wake up and I'm like, I got to get through this, got to get through another podcast. And all of a sudden, I just settle in and I go, okay, that's familiar to me. I feel good here. I'm supposed to be here. Where are you supposed to be? Where are you going? What in your life are you facing? What change are you facing in your life that's going to make it better? That's really what it comes down to. I'll say it over and over again every day. I'm not giving up on you. I'm going to show up and I'm going to be here. And eventually, guess what's going to happen? I don't even have to ask for it. Eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to realize that there's some stuff in here you need. Wait for it. Don't wait for it. But eventually, you're going to wish, okay. All right, this is getting tough. Who do I talk to? All right, what? Anyway, hey, listen, I really appreciate you showing up. I appreciate everything you do every day. Thank you for following me. Be sure you check out, if you're listening to me on YouTube, be sure you check out the YouTube on my podcast. It's on Podbean, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Pandora, and I think it's on Bullhorn. So just stop by and say hi, even if you're not ready to listen to my noise. Even if you're not ready to hear it or your life is going so damn good that you think I'm crazy, that's fine. But just stop by because I'm going to keep showing up. So anyway, until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.